PVC conduit is a common choice for electrical installations, and it can be used in a variety of applications, including being encased in concrete. The question of whether or not burial depth requirements apply to PVC conduit encased in concrete often arises. Article 352 of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, covers PVC conduit. While it doesn't explicitly state the burial depth for PVC encased in concrete, it does mention that PVC can be installed above ground or below ground. This implies that when PVC is fully encased in concrete, it might not be considered the same as direct burial in earth, where specific depth requirements exist for physical protection. Firstly, let's consider the purpose of burial depth requirements. These requirements are primarily in place to protect the conduit from physical damage. This damage could come from things like digging, vehicular traffic, or even just the weight of the soil above. When PVC is encased in concrete, it is already provided with a significant level of physical protection. The concrete acts as a barrier against these external forces, greatly reducing the risk of damage to the conduit. Secondly, consider the definition of underground. Typically, underground refers to installations where the conduit is buried directly in the earth. When PVC is encased in concrete, it is essentially in a different environment. The concrete isolates the conduit from the soil and its associated conditions. Therefore, it's reasonable to argue that PVC encased in concrete isn't technically underground in the conventional sense. Thirdly, it's important to note that the NEC is not always prescriptive. In other words, it doesn't cover every single possible scenario. Instead, it provides general guidelines and principles. In situations where the code is ambiguous, it's up to the electrical inspector, also known as the authority having jurisdiction or AHA, to make a judgment call based on the specific circumstances. The AHA has the final say on whether or not a particular installation meets code requirements. While the NEC doesn't specify a burial depth for PVC encased in concrete, other sections of the code may still apply. For example, if the conduit is exposed to physical damage after exiting the concrete, it may need to be protected by other means such as a rigid metal conduit or a guard. Additionally, the type of fittings used with the PVC conduit should be suitable for the application. Fittings that are rated for concrete encasement should be used to ensure a watertight and durable installation. Here are some additional considerations when installing PVC conduit encased in concrete. 1. Ensure proper concrete coverage. The PVC conduit should be completely encased in concrete with adequate coverage on all sides. This will provide the necessary physical protection and prevent the conduit from shifting during the concrete pour. 2. Use expansion fittings where necessary. Concrete expands and contracts with temperature changes, which can put stress on the conduit. Expansion fittings should be used to accommodate this movement and prevent damage to the conduit or the concrete. 3. Consider the type of concrete. The type of concrete used can also affect the performance of the PVC conduit. For example, concrete with a high alkali content can degrade PVC over time. In such cases, it may be necessary to use a special type of PVC conduit or to coat the conduit with a protective layer. 4. Follow manufacturer's instructions. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions for installing PVC conduit. The manufacturer's instructions will provide specific recommendations for concrete encasement, including the type of fittings to use, the minimum concrete coverage, and the use of expansion fittings. 5. Consult with a qualified engineer. In complex or critical applications, it's always a good idea to consult with a qualified electrical engineer. An engineer can assess the specific requirements of the installation and provide recommendations for ensuring a safe and reliable system. Let's talk a bit more about National Electrical Code, or NEC, and how it relates to PVC conduit in concrete. The NEC is a comprehensive set of standards for electrical installations. It is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and best practices. While Article 352 specifically covers PVC conduit, other articles in the NEC may also be relevant to installations involving PVC encased in concrete. For example, Article 300 covers general wiring methods and materials. This article includes requirements for protecting wiring from physical damage, which may be relevant if the conduit is exposed after exiting the concrete. Article 310 covers conductors for general wiring. This article includes requirements for the ampacity or current carrying capacity of conductors. The ampacity of conductors installed in conduit may be affected by the surrounding concrete, so it's important to consult the appropriate tables in Article 310 to determine the correct conductor size. Article 314 covers outlet boxes, device boxes, and pull boxes. This article includes requirements for the size and type of boxes used with conduit systems. When installing PVC conduit encased in concrete, it's important to use boxes that are suitable for concrete encasement. Article 547 covers agricultural buildings. This article includes specific requirements for electrical installations in agricultural buildings, which may be relevant if the PVC conduit is being used in a farm or ranch setting. When determining whether or not burial depth requirements apply to PVC conduit encased in concrete, it's important to consider the specific requirements of the local jurisdiction. Some local jurisdictions may have adopted amendments to the NEC that address this issue specifically. It's also important to consider the specific conditions of the installation site. If the site is subject to heavy traffic or other potential sources of physical damage, it may be prudent to provide additional protection for the conduit, even if burial depth requirements don't technically apply. Some people also ask, is it okay to run PVC conduit in concrete? The answer is generally yes. PVC conduit is commonly used in concrete encasement. However, there are a few considerations to keep in mind. Firstly, make sure to use the proper fittings. Use fittings that are specifically designed for concrete encasement to ensure watertight and secure connection. Secondly, properly support the conduit. Secure the conduits in place before pouring the concrete to prevent it from shifting or floating during the pour. Thirdly, consider expansion and contraction. Concrete expands and contracts with temperature changes, so use expansion joints where necessary to prevent stress on the conduit. Another question is, how deep does PVC conduit need to be buried? The depth requirements for PVC conduit depend on the specific application and local codes. In general, PVC conduit buried directly in the earth should be buried at least 18 inches deep. However, as discussed earlier, this requirement may not apply to PVC conduit encased in concrete. And yet another question is, what are the NEC requirements for direct burial conduit? The NEC specifies different burial depths for different types of conduit. For example, rigid metal conduit typically requires a shallow burial depth than PVC conduit. The specific requirements can be found in Article 300 of the NEC. In summary, while the NEC doesn't explicitly address the burial depth of PVC conduit encased in concrete, it's reasonable to conclude that standard burial depth requirements may not apply. This is because the concrete provides a significant level of physical protection. However, it's important to consider the relevant sections of the NEC local jurisdiction requirements and the specific conditions of the installation site. Furthermore, always use appropriate fittings, provide adequate support, and account for expansion and contraction. When in doubt, consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer. The NEC provides minimum standards for electrical installations to ensure safety. Firstly, the NEC is not a design manual. It provides rules and regulations to ensure electrical safety, not to dictate how an electrical system should be designed. Secondly, compliance with the NEC does not guarantee a perfect installation. Even if an installation meets all of the requirements of the NEC, it may still be possible for problems to occur. Thirdly, the NEC is constantly evolving. It is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and best practices. It is important to stay up to date on the latest edition of the NEC to ensure that your installations are safe and compliant. Fourthly, the NEC is not a substitute for professional judgment. Electrical work should only be performed by qualified individuals who have the knowledge and experience to do the job safely. Fifthly, local codes may vary. It is important to check with your local jurisdiction to see if there are any local codes or amendments to the NEC that apply to your installation. Sixthly, the NEC is not retroactive. In general, the requirements of the NEC only apply to new installations and major renovations. However, some local jurisdictions may require existing installations to be brought up to code when certain types of work are performed. Seventhly, the NEC is not intended to be used as a textbook. While the NEC is a valuable resource for electricians and other electrical professionals, it is not intended to be used as a substitute for formal training. Eighthly, the NEC is not a substitute for common sense. Even if an installation meets all of the requirements of the NEC, it is important to use common sense and good judgment to ensure that it is safe and reliable. Ninthly, the NEC is not a legal document. The NEC is a set of standards that has been developed by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. It is not a law or regulation unless it has been adopted by a local jurisdiction. Tenthly, the NEC is available for purchase from the NFPA. The NEC can be purchased in print or electronic format from the NFPA website. Therefore, understanding the nuances of the code and applying them correctly is essential for safe and compliant electrical work.